Hi there. Hope you have a fantastic day today. This lesson, I will teach you parametric equations. Of course, there is a PDF versions on the description below for you to download so you can work with me. Otherwise, let's go straight into it. Let's say we have a circle with a radius of x and P is along the circle. Let's say this is point P on the circle. Let's say P, X, and Y, and this is the radius. Of course, the angle theta is always measured from positive x-axis and it goes anti-clockwise. So that means this is theta. Now to work out coordinate of x, so let me just construct a right angle triangle, and this is x. So therefore we have adjacent, which is A, and hypotenuse is h. So to work out x, so adjacent over hypotenuse, so that is cos. So we say cos of angle theta is adjacent, that is x over the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is the radius. I can times r on both sides. So if I times this by r, times this by r. So therefore, this cancel with this, r cos theta is equal to x. So there you go. That is x is equal to r cos of theta. Now similarly, I can find the y coordinates. So we have opposite here and then hypotenuse. So which is sine. So sine of angle theta equal opposite, that is the y coordinate, y value. So y over the radius, that is r. So if I times r on both sides, so I times this by r, I times this by r, this cancel out. So this means that r sine theta is equal to y. So r sine theta is equal to y. So let me just rewrite this. So we know that x is equal to r cos theta and y is equal to r sine of theta. So this is parametric equations of a circle. So keep that in mind. So for a circle, the parametric is x is equal to r cos theta and y is equal to r sine theta. So please keep that in mind, okay? Now let me just square both equations. So if I square this and I square this, let me just rewrite this. So x squared is equal to r cos theta squared. So this is exactly the same as r squared cos squared theta. So let me just name this equation number 1. And then let me just square this equation as well. So that is y squared. So y squared is equal to r squared sine of squared theta. Let's name this equation number 2. So now if I add equation number 1 with equation number 2, so that becomes x squared, we add y squared is equal to r squared cos squared theta, we add r squared sine squared theta. So we just add equation number 1 with equation number 2. That's all. So this is equation number 1. We add equation number 2. So that's how I get. Okay. So now on the right hand side, if I take out the common factor, the common factors for this is r squared. So the common factor is r squared. So I'm going to take it out. So let me just write x squared plus y squared is equal to, I take the r squared out. So that will give me cos squared theta, cos squared theta plus sine squared theta. And the trig identity is cos squared theta plus sine squared theta is equal to 1. So this means that this is 1. So r squared times 1 is r squared. So therefore, x squared plus y squared is r squared. So there you go. So this is the Cartesian equation for a circle. So x squared plus y squared is r squared. And the parametric equation for this is x is equal to r cos theta and y equal r sine theta. So there you go. So this is parametric equations for the circle, and this is Cartesian equations. So please keep that in mind. Okay, so let's just go through a couple examples. So let's convert these parametric equations to Cartesian equations. So let me just write this down first. X is equal to 2 cos of theta. And we know that the parametric for a circle is x is equal to r cos of theta. Y is equal to r sine of theta. So we know that this is the r. So the radius of a circle. So the rule for this is x squared plus y squared is r squared. So that is, we know that r is 2. So therefore, x squared plus y squared is equal to 2 squared, that is 4. So that is the Cartesians for these parametric equations. But instead of remember this rule, I can also work out algebraically. So let me just square both sides for this, okay? So we know the answer should be x squared plus y squared equal 4, okay? So keep that in mind. So let me square both sides for this. That is x squared equal to 4 cos of square theta, because I squared both sides. And for this, y equal 2 sine theta. Let me just rewrite this, okay? So y is equal to 2 sine of theta. I squared both sides. So that is y squared is equal to 4 sine square theta. So this is equation number 1. This is equation number 2. So we're just going to add two equations together. So that is, we have x squared, we add y squared. So that is x squared plus y squared is equal to, and then we add 4 cos square of theta. So 4 cos square theta, and then we add 4 sine square of theta. Okay, so let me just plus 4 sine square of theta. So that is equation number 1 with plus equation number 2. So keep that in mind. So now the 4 cos square theta and 4 sine square theta, I can take out the common factor, and the common factor for this is 4. So let me just move this up. So that is equal to 4. I take out the common factor. So this is 4 here. I take it out. So that will give me cos square theta plus sine square theta. And this side here is x squared plus y squared. And we know that cos square theta, we add sine square theta, will give me 1 from Triggs identity. Okay, keep that in mind. So that will give me 4, and x squared plus y squared is equal to 4. So this is the Cartesian equations. Okay, keep that in mind. So second one. So let me just write this down first. X is equal to 4 cos theta minus 2. So I'm just going to make 4 cos theta as a subject. Okay, so what I do, I move this negative 2, move on that side. So that will give me x plus 2 is equal to 4 cos of theta. And if I square both sides, so if I square this and I square this as well, so that will give me x plus 2. I just rewrite this, okay? So 4 square is 16. So 16 cos square of theta. So let's name this equation number 1. Then for y is equal to 3 plus 4 sine theta, let me just quickly write this down first. So y is equal to 3 plus 4 sine theta. So I just made 4 sine theta as a subject. So what I do, I move this on that side. So that will give me y minus 3 is equal to 4 sine theta. So what I do now is I square both sides. So if I square this side and I square this side as well, so that will give me y minus 3 square is equal to 4 square is 16. So 16 and then sine square theta. So let's name this equation number 2. So now what I do, I'm just going to add equation number 1 with equation number 2. So in another word, we have x plus 2 squared, and we add y minus 3 squared. So that is x plus 2 all squared, and we add y minus 3 all squared. Y minus 3 all squared. That will give me, and we have on this side 16 cos squared theta, and we add 16 sine squared theta. So 16 cos squared theta, and we add 16 sine squared theta. So the common factor for this is 16. Okay, so I take this 16 out. So that will give me 16 brackets cos squared theta, we add sine squared theta. So that will give me on this side, let me just rewrite this first. X plus 2 all squared, we add y minus 3 all squared. Now remember, cos squared theta plus sine squared theta is equal to 1. So this means that 16 times 1 is 16. So therefore, the Cartesian is x plus 2 all square at y minus 3 all square is equal to 16. So there you go. This is a Cartesian equations, and it is a circle with the center of -2, 3, and the radius of 4. Okay, keep that in mind. Please pause the video and try this one yourself. Hi there, I'm back. How did you go? So let me just go through them with you, okay? Before I do that, please do not forget to give me a thumb up and subscribe if you haven't done so you can help me to grow my channel. So let's get into it. So we have x is equal to 6 cos theta. So now if I square both sides, so that will give me x squared is equal to 36 cos square of theta. So let's name this equation number 1. And then y is equal to 6 sine of theta. So now if I square both sides, so that becomes y squared is equal to 6 squared is 36 and sine squared theta. Let's name this equation number 2. So now if I add both equations together, so on the left hand side, we have x squared, we add y squared, which is equal to, then we have 36 cos squared theta at 36 sine squared theta. So 36 cos squared theta, we add 36 sine squared theta. And what I do, I take the common factor out, and it is 36 is the common factor in this case. So let me move this up. So that is x squared plus y squared will give me, I take out the 36, so that give me cos squared theta plus sine squared theta. So there you go. And we know that cos squared theta plus sine squared theta is equal to 1. So this is give me 1. And we know that 36 times 1 is 36. So therefore, the answer is x squared plus y squared is 36. So this is the Cartesian equations, and the center of the circle is 0, 0, and the radius is 6. So part B. So we have x is equal to 5 plus 3 cos of theta. Of course, we can make cos as a subject, and then with the other equation, we can make sine as a subject, and we square both sides. But easier, we just make 3 cos theta as a subject and 3 sine theta as a subject. Just easier and simpler, that's all. So we move the 5 on this side. So that will give me x minus 5 is equal to 3 cos theta. So I square both sides. So I square this side and I square this side. So that will give me x minus 5 all square So 3 squared will give me 9. And that's cos square theta. Then let's name this equation number 1. And for y is equal to 4 plus 3 sine theta. So I move the 4 on the other side. So that will give me y minus 4 is equal to 3 sine theta. So let me just square both sides. So that means I square this and I square this. So then that will give me, y minus 4 square is equal to 9 sine square theta. So let's name this equation number 2. So what I do now is I'm going to add equation number 1 with equation number 2. So with this side here, I add this together. So that will give me x minus 5 square plus y minus 4 square is equal to, so I'm going to add on this side here. So we add 9 cos square theta with 9 sine square theta. So 9 cos square theta plus 9 sine square theta. So now what I do, I take the 9 out because 9 is a common factor. So with brackets, cos square theta, we add sine square theta. Let me just move this up. And on this side here, x minus 5 square plus y minus 4 all square. And don't forget, we know that cos square theta at sine square theta give me 1. Okay, so the trig identity. So therefore, the answer is x minus 5 square plus y minus 4 square will give me 9. So there you go. So this is a Cartesian equation with the center of 5, 4 and the radius is 3. And thank you so much for watching and I hope you got it correct. Bye.